Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss long questions of chapter 14. Chapter 14 is chemical effects of electric current. So let's start. In the previous video, I discussed back exercise and short question answers of this chapter. So now I am starting with the long answer type questions. First question is, what is electroplating? How can you carry out electroplating of copper in the laboratory? First, I would like to discuss the question number 3. How can you electroplate an iron spoon with copper? Explain with the help of a circuit diagram. So these questions, both the questions, question number 1 and 3, they are similar. I am going to explain question number 3. Question number 1 is similar to question 3. So the question is how we can deposit copper on the iron spoon. First, I would like to discuss that what is electroplating. Then I will explain that how the copper is deposited on iron spoon. So electroplating, this is the process of depositing a layer of any desired metal on another material by means of electricity. Okay, so what we do in the electroplating, here you can see a layer of any desired metal, it will be deposited on another material by means of electricity. That means with the help of electricity. And the electroplating, it has many advantages. For example, like jewelry makers, when they make the artificial jewelry, they make jewelry with any less expensive metal, then on that less expensive metal, coating of gold or silver is done so as to make the jewelry more decorative. And the electroplating, it is done so as for the purpose of corrosion prevention. You know that iron gets rusted, so the zinc is coated on iron so as to prevent iron from rusting. So this electroplating has many applications. Now let us understand that how we can do this electroplating. Here we will try to understand. Here we are going to discuss that how coating of copper can be done on the iron spoon. So here we want to coat copper on the iron spoon. So on the iron spoon we want to do coating of copper. So the iron spoon, it will be connected to the negative terminal of battery. And the copper plate, it will be connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Okay, because we want to do the coating of copper. Okay, so whose coating we want to do, that will be connected to positive terminal, and the material on which we want to do the coating, that will be connected to the negative terminal. Okay, here we are going to do the coating of copper on the iron spoon. We'll take the solution of copper sulfate solution because we want to do the coating of copper. So the solution taken will be of copper sulfate solution. Add a few drops of the dilute sulfuric acid in this copper sulfate solution so as to make it more conductive. So what will happen? Now after doing all this arrangement, okay, we have made all the connections. So the current will start flowing through the solution. Now leave this arrangement undisturbed for about half an hour. So you will notice that about half an hour you will notice a reddish coating of the copper on the iron spoon. Now let us try to understand that what happens, how this copper it got deposited on the iron spoon. Okay, so when electric current starts flowing through the solution, copper sulfate solution, so this solution, it breaks down into it dissociates into ions. Okay, it dissociates into ions, copper ions, Cu2 plus, and sulfate ions. So copper ions, you can see copper ions, they have positive charge. Copper ions, they get attracted toward this iron spoon because it is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So all the copper from the solution will start getting deposited on the iron spoon. So the copper ions, they will get attracted toward the iron spoon and they will get deposited on the iron spoon. I will explain why is this so. So the copper ions from the solution get attracted to the iron spoon because it is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So the copper ions, they get attracted to the iron spoon. So we need to restore copper ions in the solution. So how it will happen? So copper from the copper plate, it will come in the solution in form of copper ions. Here you can see at anode means because this copper plate it is connected to positive terminal, so it is anode. So at anode you can see copper will break down into copper ions and will lose 2 electrons. Okay, so these 2 electrons, they will get transferred to the cathode, and the copper from here, copper plate is coming to the solution in form of the copper ions. And why is it happening? So as to restore the copper ions in the solution, because as I told you earlier, that copper ions, they are, you can see copper ions having positive charge, they are getting attracted to the iron spoon. Okay, so we need to restore the copper ions in the solution. So copper from the copper plate is restoring the copper ions in the solution. Okay, at anode I told you that these copper ions, they absorb the 2 electrons that are coming from here. It absorbs the 2 electrons and get deposited on the cathode as copper. Okay, what is the cathode here? Iron spoon. So I hope the process of electroplating is clear, that how copper get deposited on iron spoon. Now next question, does pure water conduct electricity? If not, what can we do to make it conducting? Explain. Pure water, pure water means like distilled water. Okay, pure water is a poor conductor of electricity, doesn't allow electricity to flow through it. Then what can be done so as to make pure water conducting? Here on your book, on page number B59, one activity has been given on page number B59. Okay, we need to make such kind of circuit. Okay, take a plastic beaker, take 3 beakers. Take 3 beakers, add distilled, fill them with the distilled water. Okay, take 3 beakers, fill them with the distilled water. Now, in first beaker, add few drops of the dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, and in the next beaker, add few drops of the sodium hydroxide. Okay, that is also known as caustic soda. And in the third beaker, add some salt. Okay, and stir it well. So you will notice that now test it. Now we need to test all these three liquids in the 3 beakers. How we can test? With the help of this circuit. You can see the circuit is so simple. One battery has been taken, some conducting wires, and the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the longer leg of LED. Okay, so make the proper connections and then dip the free ends of the circuit in the beaker. Okay, when you will test all the 3 beakers, when you will test the liquids in all the 3 beakers, you will notice that LED will glow in all the 3 cases. Okay, so it indicates that the water containing solution of any acid or any base or salt is a good conductor of electricity. So the name of this activity is also this, to show that water containing any salt, acid or alkali is a good conductor of electricity. I hope this is clear. Now moving to the picture based questions. First question is, look at the figure alongside and label it. Write the electronic word equation add. So here you can see I have already explained these equations at the anode and the cathode. Okay, this I have already explained. Next is, observe the diagram given alongside in which electrolysis of water is shown. So first is label the diagram. They have already mentioned that electrolysis of water is being done here. What are the gases that will be produced? In the electrolysis of water, what happens? Water breaks into its constituents, oxygen and hydrogen gas. So which gases will be produced here? Oxygen gas and hydrogen gas. Which gas will collect at which electrode? Oxygen gas it gets collected at anode, and the hydrogen gas, it gets collected at cathode. Okay, you can see here this setup has been shown. Okay, you can see this is here. This is the positive terminal, so this is the anode here, and this is the negative terminal of battery, so this is the cathode. So here oxygen gas will be collected here at the anode and the hydrogen gas will be collected at the cathode. Okay, next is, when lighted matchstick is brought near the mouth of test tube A and cork was removed, the gas burns with an explosive sound. Which gas it is? It is hydrogen gas. Okay, it is hydrogen gas, because they are saying that the gas burns with an pop sound. So here answer is hydrogen gas. Okay, I have made the labeling here because we have to do the labeling. This is test tube A, test tube B. how I have done the labeling, because they are saying that in test tube A, the gas burns with the explosive pop sound. Okay, so it happens in case of the hydrogen gas. So like this, I have done the labeling. Conduct the similar test with the gas in the test tube B. What can you expect to observe? Because in the test tube B, which one is the test tube B? You can see here, the test tube B, which is connected to the anode. Okay, so here in this, I told you at anode oxygen gas will be produced. So here what they are saying, yes, if you will bring any burning matchstick near to this, so that will start burning violently, because we know that oxygen gas, it supports burning. Okay, so this was all about picture based questions. Next is WHATS questions. We should not use water to extinguish fires caused due to electrical short circuits. Why? Because we know that water is a good conductor of electricity, and if we use water for extinguishing the fire which has been caused due to electric shock circuits, then the person may get the electric shock. Some liquids can conduct electricity and some cannot. Why? Some liquids, they can conduct electricity, like tap water, water from any hand pump, well, etc., because it contains mineral salts dissolved in it. Okay, and these salts make water a good conductor of electricity. But some liquids, like pure form of water, pure water, distilled water, it doesn't conduct electricity because it does not have any salts in it. Okay, so that's why it doesn't conduct electricity. It is even more dangerous to touch an electric appliances with wet hands than with dry hands. Why? Because we know that water is a good conductor of electricity. So if we touch an electrical appliances with the wet hands, we can get electric shock. Okay. So dear students, this is all for chapter 14. Thank you.